Several decades ago, marriage in Africa was seen as a sacred union between a man and a woman. In the Yoruba-speaking part of Nigeria, a marriage ceremony is seen as a thing of honor, especially for parents giving out their daughter in marriage. Same goes for the Igbo, Hausa, Ibibio, and many other ethnic groups scattered across Africa's most populous nation. But one day, Africa woke up to the possibility of the idea of same-sex marriage spreading all over the continent. But same-sex marriage isn't consistent with the people's beliefs and culture, so they moved strongly against it. And in 2014, Nigeria became the 38th African nation to pass legislation prohibiting gay practice. Today, it's a one-way ticket to the United States and United Kingdom for many Nigerian gays.
No safe haven for gays in Nigeria. That is no longer news. What is news is that most homosexuals in Nigeria are seeking refuge abroad, just like the convener and the founder of the LGBTI church in Nigeria, Roland Macaulay, has run as far as the United Kingdom to propagate his homosexuality gospel, abandoning what used to be his assembly. It has now been taken over by a charismatic church.
They have become more acceptable in those countries than when they were back home. In Nigeria, they risk up to 14 years imprisonment if convicted, so they are not taking chances.
Apart from section 214, 215 and 217, that say anything that's against the order of nature, any sexual relationship that's against the order of nature, it's against the order of nature. So it's a big waste of time. It's a loss of sense of duration. God is against it. Our culture is against it. Our values are against it. So many things are against it. So it's not the best for them. They need prayer. They need to be delivered.
BC Alimi is a Nigerian gay activist. He's currently in the United Kingdom, where there is sexual liberty. But in Nigeria, people like Alimi routinely get death threats, especially from those who are homophobic and hate the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex community. He tells me he has grown a thick skin in the UK against criticism he often gets back home after a Skype interview.
I don't really care what people think about my sexuality. I think I've come to that point in my life. And not just me, so many LGBT people in Nigeria have come to that point in our lives where we realize that, it is not our place to be overshadowed or overwhelmed by the ignorance of others. If other people are not going to educate themselves to understand the old constructs and discourse around sexuality, that is, to be honest, their cup of tea, and they have to deal with it. But what I'm worried about is the fact that they have the audacity and the boldness to want to punish me for something that they don't understand and they have no idea and they are bigoted about. And that's what I have problems with.
A recent judgment by the United States Supreme Court okayed gay marriage, giving African LGBTI community something to leverage on.
And do you, Sandy, take Chris to be your lawfully wedded wife, to love and cherish from this day forward?
I do.
This ring is a symbol of my love and my devotion.
But most African leaders oppose this American policy.
We don't force on the U.S. the values of Africa. And I don't think it is right for the U.S. to force on Africa the values of the U.S. These values can evolve. And you must allow every society to evolve. If you want to force a society to evolve, then you must be prepared to do much more for that society in other areas. If you talk about Boko Haram, has U.S. given us the Apache helicopters that we need to fight Boko Haram? Have they given us the military, No, they have not. Have they given us the support that, this society requires in order to ensure that foreign corporations who come here do not siphon our resources abroad? They have not.
And the Nigerian healthcare system does not even have any peculiar care for homosexuals.
We can go to the hospital
and say that we want to be treated, for sexually transmitted diseases as men who have sex with men. That is a right that we're entitled to constitutionally in this country, but that has been taken away from us because of this law.
The LGBTI community in this inter-religious nation is endangered, to say the least.
I won't even wait to do the DNA test to confirm the paternity test. I mean, whether I'm truly the father. I will take life out of him quietly, even as a lawyer.
It's really not clear for how long the Nigerian gays will remain in exile, where they will never be treated like a freeborn. Bonaba Famous School, TVC News, Lagos.